Welcome back, True Seeker. It is February 2nd, 2024, Groundhog's Day. If you missed the news, it's going to be an early spring, they tell us. Do that ritual every year in Pennsylvania with the groundhog. Anyhow, yesterday, put up a short video on this last night. I just want to go into further detail. On the first day of Black History Month, Darius Rucker, better known as Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish, the big 90s band, arrested for minor drug possession. And then today, TMZ's added to the story by bringing in his ex-white girlfriend who's ridiculing him, again, making it even more about race. But yesterday, before this news broke, we talked about something we've talked about many times before, why the U.S. federal government first recognized Black History Month in the year 1976 and on the date February 10th, 10/2. Again, Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. In Gematria, the word slavery equals 102. Here, Darius Rucker has been arrested 102 days before his birthday, his upcoming birthday, May 13th, on the first day of Black History Month. But slavery equals 102. You might recall this story from a few years ago about the white country singer using the N-word in Nashville and getting banned from the radio. The N-word also has gematria of 102. Again, it goes back to the American Civil War beginning on the 102nd day of the year. But again, the U.S. federal government recognized Black History Month on the date that can be written 10/2 in the year 76. And in gematria, slave equals 76, like Negro, like blues, like Rasta. In this case, also like the surname Rucker. So, again, this is the power of understanding this knowledge. We're talking about the same things every year. Yesterday, before this news broke, I brought up the significance of 102 and 76. Hours later in the day, this becomes the headline. And again, the other piece here that's amazing, and again, we'll talk about how sports are scripted the exact same way. They said he was arrested in Williamson County, Tennessee. If you're new here, gematria is very simple. Again, it's based on the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order in reverse, and both orders with numerology. I want you to see what Williamson County, Tennessee has to do with Tennessee alone, and also the word black, in light of it being the first day of Black History Month. Because again, it goes back to this story from Black History Month 3 years ago with the white country singer being arrested, he wasn't arrested, excuse me, but he made his remarks in Tennessee where then he was kicked off the radio. And then I'm going to show you what happened last night in the NBA, another glorious day in the NBA from understanding how the game's rigged and understanding the knowledge. With the alphabetic order and numerology, Williamson County, Tennessee, where he was arrested, is 106. Without numerology applied, Tennessee alone is 106. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, the word black is 106. And remember, Black Lives Matter. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology is also 106. When Obama put out his book, A Promised Land, he put it out 106 days after his birthday. And he put it out on the day leaving 44 days left in the year. And the title plays on the prophecy of Abraham. Of course, Obama was 44. Abraham is 44, but prophecy is also 106. And again, Obama just came out with that movie about the grid going down. But in the film, you see the boat, the White Lion, and then you see the radio station, the only one that has a signal left, 1619, like how the first slave ship in America was the White Lion in 1619. And again, in Acts 7:6, it talks about 400 years of slavery in a nation. Barack Obama, 76, Acts 7:6. Acts is the 44th book of the Bible. So again, running the alphabetic order in reverse, slave 76, Negro 76, blue 76, Rasta 76. Black History Month recognized by the federal government in 76, where we're exposing that everything the federal government does is by this Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers behind the English language. Again, you got trolls in the world right now trying to say that it only pertains to Hebrew, which is false. Gematria is always applied to Hebrew, Aramaic, and also Greek, where it's called isopsophy. But it's so obvious that the system was put into the English language in the 16th century by the Jesuits, who also gave us the calendar, thus how all the rituals are synced up. And you see how all these words like Rasta is 59 forwards, like Negroes 59 forwards, like Blues is 59 forwards, like Slaves 59 forwards. Again, in the Bible, Ephesians 6, it's the verses 5 through 9 that are the infamous verses about slavery. And Obama, his Secret Service name was Renegade, which is 59. And again, his book, A Promised Land, was 59 forwards, 76 in reverse, which plays again on Abraham. And it came out on the day leaving 44 days left in the year, 106 days after his birthday. But now here we are with Rucker, again, arrested 102 days before his birthday. And of course, there's the Rucker 76 as well. So born May 13th. He'll turn 58 later this year. Notice he's from Charleston, where the American Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year, April 12th, 1861. Again, every last ritual they do, paying tribute to history. So Rucker's also from where the U.S. Civil War began. And let's think about all the Civil War stuff they have going on right now. Again, they even recently put out the trailer for a new Civil War movie upcoming. And about that, the reflection of 102 is 201. Remember that Civil War movie by Alex Garland? They put out the trailer. It was the big news. 201 days after his birthday. Who's the founder of Black History Month? It's credited to Carter G. Woodson. See how his name is 177 69 201? Just like the Jesuit orders 177 69 201. Again, the language is as it is because of the Jesuits. The calendar we're on was created by a Jesuit priest. February Black History Month is the month that ends on the 59th day of the year. The Jesuits serve the Catholic Church. The Bible as we know it is because of the Catholic Church, where the verses 5 through 9 are all about slavery. Again, for people who don't know Ephesians 6, 5 through 9, let's pull it up and let's read it one more time. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Obey them not only to win their favor when their eye is on you, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord, not people, because you know that the Lord will reward each one for whatever good they do, whether they are slave or free. And masters, treat your slaves in the same way. Do not threaten them, since you know that he who is both their master and yours in heaven, and there is no favoritism with him. So again, most infamous verses about slavery in the Bible, in the translations, as we know from the Catholic Church, perfectly correspond with the language. But about this being synced with his 58th birthday, 58 is also a significant number. And of course, when he turns 58, he will begin his 59th year of life. Again, people get hung up on that. When you're born, you begin your first year of life. When you turn 1, you begin your second year of life. So this is synced up with his 58th birthday, which begins his 59th year of life. And 58 is no slouch of a number. Darius Rucker knows how it's 58. In that same cipher, secret societies 58, Freemasonry's 58, Rosicrucians 58. Again, modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation. Thus how all of these things are put together so perfectly in the language. You know, and maybe he got the option to choose this shaming ritual other than the Prince treatment. You know, Prince died at age 57 in his 58th year of life. And right after the 58th Grammys, where his ex-girlfriend from the time of Purple Rain died the day of those 58th Grammys, Vanity. And that was on the anniversary of Prince's mother's death, if you'll recall. And then Prince died 201 days before the rigged election for Trump, who's Jesuit educated, when Prince did the song Black Donald Trump, and he died on 4/21 when he had the song I Would Die For You with the number 4, like the 4th month April, and the letter U, he spelled it, like 21, like how he died on 4/21, the Queen's birthday. So again, it could have been a lot worse for Hootie at age 57. Again, like what happened to Prince. And with regards to the sports tie-in, again, we were talking about how Tennessee and Williamson County, Tennessee has this big 106 connection. Want you to see what they did in the NBA last night. So, very good day for us in the NBA. By the Celtics getting upset with the Lakers while LeBron and Anthony Davis were out, which we thought had a good chance to happen because all the numbers were there for the upset. And you want to be in the know about this language to understand how important a game like this is and what it foretells about this season. But I'll save that for the people who support the work on Patreon. But by that happening, it set up the narrative for the Cavs to get the 106th win of the season by the East versus the West, on the same day this ritual went down in Tennessee versus the Tennessee team, the Memphis Grizzlies. And not only did the Cavs get the 106th win versus the West for the season, the Cavs also became 10-6 versus the West, 10-6 like 106. And again, they did it in Memphis, which also has the 106 Gematria. Memphis 106 like Tennessee. And of course, in Memphis, we know what happened to Martin Luther King Jr., who was assassinated in a very clear Jesuit ritual. Assassinated on the 95th day of the leap year when he was named after Martin Luther, who wrote the 95 Theses, which brought about the Jesuits, and who were recognized by Rome on the day leaving 95 days left in the year. And we were just talking about what they did with Damian Lillard in the big Jesuit rituals, shipping him to the Bucks on that day, September 27th, the big Jesuit day. But again, from sports to news, the same numbers clearly in the script. And also 76ers had a great riddle to upset the Jazz last night. They were a big dog, big value. But just so you can see, East versus West. So notice, the Lakers beat the Celtics, so the East did not get a win versus the West here. Pacers and Knicks are both in the East, so it didn't count towards that East versus West stat. Cavs are in the East, Grizzlies are in the West, so this was the 106th win. The game that started after that, later that night, was the 76ers versus the Jazz. So the 76ers ended up picking up the 107th win over the Jazz. So I just want you to see, the East are on 107 wins, but the 106th came in that game in Tennessee on the first day of Black History Month, when we've been explaining for all these years how perfectly scripted it all is. And if you just learn this little Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers. And again, if you're a trailer park trash troll and you don't like calling it Gematria, then just call it the alphanumeric code behind the English language, okay? The point still stands regardless of what you want to call the practice of coding numbers into words. The point is, the English language is a numerical system synced up with the calendar, put in place by the Jesuits, that's used every day like this to script the news, script the sports. And isn't it weird, you guys, that I was talking about the trailer park trio from Florida yesterday, and then that was the big headline last night? That a plane crashed into a trailer park in Florida. I almost feel bad about that. But unfortunately, it wasn't the trio that got taken out. That would have been a blessing. So anyway, there'll be more stories like this in Black History Month. There always is. And today, TMZ is focused on how Wendy Williams is completely broke. So just picking on another Black celebrity. And just to remind you that it's the Jesuits behind all this here. Just to go back to the Country Star the other year in 2021. Again, Morgan Wallen hurls the N-word in Tennessee. For the record, you see how Tennessee also has that 34 in it? 106-34. The word black's the same when you run the alphabetic order in verse. 106-34. And then Tennessee's also 137, which is the 33rd prime. And in the case of Wallen, he got in trouble on the 33rd day of the year, which is February 2nd in Black History Month. So it was 3 years ago today. February 2nd, 2-2, a bit like Wallen, 22. But here's the big Jesuit fingerprints. Oh my God, I just realized he has the same damn birthday as Hootie. What in the world? They're both born on May 13th. Okay, that gets extra wild. But from his last birthday to the ritual was the 266th day of his age. And that means it would be the same thing with Hootie as well. Unbelievable. Look at that. Same birthday. Almost very similar ritual, just 3 years apart. But from May 13th, or actually, never mind, it would be a day off because Hootie did it on February 1st. But anyhow, in the case of Wallen, it was his 266th day of his age. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, 266, like Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the 266th pope in the history of the church. Morgan Wallen, 54, like Jesuit order. Again, his thing happened in Nashville, which equals 102, like the N-word, like slavery. Again, he blurted out the N-word in Nashville and got removed from the radio. But yeah, I mean, what are the odds that on the same day, and before any of this happened, again, we pointed out the 102-76 thing like we've talked about year after year. You know, a few years back, we were pointing out why Ben Simmons was going to be traded from the 76ers on February 10th, a week before it happened. And that's exactly what happened. And part of that, too, with Ben Simmons and just the 102 thing is he's from Australia, which also just fit in with the ritual. And again, that's exactly what ended up happening. Getting traded on February 10th. We were saying, watch, they're going to do it on the anniversary of Black History Month being recognized in 76, tribute to slavery. And sure enough, they're trading a black man in the NBA on 10/2 from the 76ers. So yeah, for the Trailer Park Trio, again, here's what the Trailer Park Trio was doing last night. Last night, the Trailer Park Trio was, again, talking about the stream that they had no balls to enter, but then they were putting out more false information. They were saying Zach is lying because in the book of formation, it doesn't say in the opening paragraph that God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. So I was like, oh, really? It doesn't. Here, let me upload it online and just see how easy it is to debunk the Trailer Park Trio. So the Book of Formation, again, right here, also known as the Sefer Yetzirah, like I've always said, opening page, opening paragraph, just to read it out loud. In 32 mysterious paths of wisdom did the Lord write, the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the living Elohim, and King of the universe, the almighty, merciful, and gracious God. He is great and exalted and eternally dwelling in the height. His name is holy. He is exalted and holy. He created his universe by 3 forms of expression: numbers, letters, and words. You guys, it's the same thing from all of my trolls and critics. They got no facts. They have no argument. They lie. They slander. They chop up videos to mislead. And that's it. And then they're all ballless losers who will never come on and debate. How can you deny the work when you know damn well earlier in the day I was again Edge came out 76 and 102, only for hours later for it to happen again? And the real tragedy is not just that I have all these worthless trolls in the world that harass 24/7, 365. It's that the world is not learning this information or picking up on it and can't see through the obvious. Carter G. Woodson was a scholar whose dedication to celebrating the historic contributions of Black people led to the establishment of Black History Month, marked every February since 1976. All right, True Seeker, we'll leave it there for now. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. Thank you to everyone who gave RPM Trey a sub yesterday. If you didn't do that, please give him a sub today, RPM Trey Vietnam. And again, support the other good people doing the work in the community. Until next time, True Seeker.